As Chancellor of Oxford Prep Academy, it is my pleasure to welcome our families, students, and staff to our 8th grade promotion ceremony. OPA's vision is to create a center for higher learning where students in kinder through 8th grade are prepared to pursue university-level academic studies as well as to gain skills to be successful in the 21st century. Our champions do not only meet, but they exceed grade-level expectations. And they become critical thinkers as they engage in dynamic teaching that makes them self-motivated, competent, and lifelong learners. 8th grade students, as your chancellor, I challenge you to continue to practice the 3 R's: respect, responsibility, and readiness. Be respectful enough to always say thank you, and I appreciate that, to your parents and to all those around you. Respect other people's opinions and differences, and use that information to help you grow and understand yourself and others. Be responsible enough to accept your mistakes. At the same time, do whatever you can to forgive yourself for those mistakes. We all make them. It's part of life. But those who respect themselves know how to let go of those mistakes and learn from them. Be ready to take on all challenges and obstacles that you face as you prove to the world that champions are lifelong learners. Be resilient. Think about that, what motivates you and keeps you going when situations become difficult. A good start is finding a quote that resonates with you, something that empowers you, that motivates you, and becomes part of who you are, and it can help you grow and change. In closing, I would like to leave you with these powerful words from T. Allen Armstrong. Champions do not become champions when they win the event, but in the hours, weeks, months, and years they spend preparing for it. The victorious performance itself is merely the demonstration of their championship character. OPA champions, remember that you are kind, you are strong, and you have a great team on your side who wants to see you succeed and will be there for you. Congratulations, 8th grade class of 2020. Please remember to take care of yourself, others, and OPA.
Hello, Oxford Preparatory Academy class of 2020. This is Jill Marks, Executive Director of OPA, and I want to congratulate you and your families on your promotion and your transition to high school. This year, we are celebrating your success in a different way, which leads me to share a quote about change from Alvin Toffler, a famous writer and businessman who wrote, "Change is not merely necessary to life, it is life." I want to say a few words about change, specifically how you are adapting to it and how you will apply these experiences in the future. Already in your lifetime, you have seen and experienced rapid change. We are using technology to learn in different ways, to gather information, and to stay in touch. During your time at OPA, you will have been building the skills and characteristics you need for the changing future, such as learning how you best learn, and sharing, collaborating, and thinking creatively. As teenagers and adults, not only will you be prepared for change, but you will drive it. You will make well-informed choices about your education and career pathways and solve community and environmental challenges. It has been a pleasure to have you at OPA. We expect you to practice the 5 C's and model them for others. Have a great summer. Have a great freshman year.
To my 8th grade champions. While this isn't exactly how I envisioned being able to celebrate this milestone with you, it doesn't change how immensely proud I am of each and every one of you. Your hard work and commitment has not gone unnoticed, and today we celebrate you, your accomplishments, and your future. It's been an absolute honor not only to serve as your dean, but to watch so many of you grow into the amazing young men and women you have become over the last 8 years. We could have never predicted that March 13th would have been our last traditional day of classes on campus. And while so many of you, like me, are mourning the missed events and opportunities that come with the end of your 8th grade year, I want you to instead carry the memories you did make while on campus with you throughout your lifetime. You have all laughed together, cried together, schemed together, and at times drove me absolutely crazy. But those are the memories that I'm going to cherish about this 8th grade class. From the battle over the skateboards, to the handful of students who were constantly making sure I wouldn't kick everyone out of the 8th grade area, there sure are a lot of times to look back on and smile about. And yes, for the record, you are the first promoting class who managed to never lose the 8th grade area as a whole. So now, as you prepare to close this chapter of your life and move into high school, I hope you remember all the life lessons you learned at OPA. High school is full of amazing opportunities, but you, as freshmen, are the ones responsible for taking those opportunities and transforming them into meaningful experiences for yourselves. As you dream up the next 4 years, I want you to promise me that you will dream big. Promise me that you will have the courage and confidence to take yourself seriously. Promise me that you won't back down to a challenge, that you will persevere against all odds to achieve those dreams. Your time at OPA has prepared you to take your life in bold and beautiful directions. Now is the time to start leaving your mark, envision greatness in yourself, and seize every opportunity that comes your way. I know all of you will find great success in your future endeavors. Congratulations, promoting class of 2020. Go make us proud.
Class of 2020, we did it. Although this year has been unconventional, I am beyond excited to say that we have persevered, worked hard, and now we have graduated 8th grade. This is an extremely bittersweet moment. On one hand, we are closing a chapter that has lasted more than half of our lives, but on the other, we are opening a very exciting new chapter as we enter high school as freshmen. Looking back, I remember my first day of kindergarten at OPA just like it was yesterday. This was the opening day of Oxford Prep SOC. There are tons of kids dressed in plaid, and teachers welcoming us with open arms. 5-year-old me had no idea that over the next 9 years that followed, I would make memories and form relationships that I know will last a lifetime. We will all remember those iconic OPA events, like Literature Days, Living Museum, walkthroughs, Science Camp, Cum Laude Awards, and Honor Mods field trips. We will also never forget our middle school dances, Frosty Follies, hanging out in the 8th grade area, and getting kicked off the playground swings. I actually think that I will miss walking up the hill for pickup and the chaos of the carpool line. Our class has gone through so much together, and it's insane to think that it's coming to a close. We've seen each other at our best and at our worst. We've messed around at class parties, cheered obnoxiously for each other at OPA awards, gotten kicked out of the 8th grade area for throwing food, and from time to time have gotten a little too competitive to play games in the field. As a result, we've also had the pleasure of sitting through multiple behavior lectures in Honor Hall. In all seriousness, we have grown and accomplished so much in this last year. Yes, we have learned new math skills, tackled U.S. history, writing, and foreign language, and we've definitely mastered Study, Sync, and Amplify. Without question, though, the most important thing that we've learned this year is that we are resilient. Distance learning is not ideal for many of us, but now we know that we can do it. Our teachers have worked extremely hard to support us, to teach us, and allow us to finish our school year in a productive way. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much, Mrs. Dunneback, Miss Roney, and along with the rest of the OPA staff for making us see that we are capable of more than we give ourselves credit for. COVID-19 has affected everyone around the world in some way. For us as 8th graders, it has completely altered our expectation for how our time at OPA would end. There will be no staff versus 8th grade softball game, knots, or iFly field trips, dance, or a taco guy. What we will have, however, is an ending to our 8th grade year that we will never forget. One day, we will tell the story of our drive-by graduation ceremony and virtual commencement, and we will remember that even though we were not physically together for these big events, we experienced them united as an 8th grade class. Had we known that March 13th was the last time we'd sit in the 8th grade area together, walk to class, and say goodbye after school, we might have given that day more importance. For me, I think I'm glad I didn't know, because I don't know how I would have managed to say goodbye to any of you. From those of you who I knew since before I could read, to those of you who I just met this year, thank you for being a part of my life. I'm so excited to see where the future takes you. Congratulations, class of 2020. It has been a wild ride.
My fellow graduates, we stand here today knowing that through all of the challenges, all of the hardships, and all of the tough times, we made it through. We all started our school experience with kindergarten, coloring, learning the alphabet, and even nap time. We didn't realize how easy we had it. Then came 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and even 4th grade, and before we knew it, we were getting ready for our first day of 8th grade. We were excited, nervous, and sad that our summer adventures filled with beach days and sleeping in were over. In the following months, our days would be filled with study sync with Miss Roney and scavenger hunts with Mrs. Denneback. We agonized over the possibility of having to run in PE and spent lunches in the 8th grade area eating and talking and feeling like the kings and queens on campus. And we waited. We waited for the bell to ring at 3:15. We would go home, ask each other for homework help, and FaceTime friends. We would stay up way too late binging Netflix and completely regret it the next day when we had to get up. This year, some of us struggled academically, while others struggled socially or even athletically. But the important thing is, we all learned how to never give up. Never give up. You hear that phrase a lot throughout your life, but what does it truly mean? To never give up means that no matter the situation, you never stop trying. I speak on behalf of my peers when I say we all wanted to give up when Miss Roney assigned us the Dust Bowl narrative or when Mrs. Denneback tried to teach us geometry. But the important thing is, we never did. We never gave up. We studied and we worked hard, and no matter the grade, no matter the points given, we never gave up. In just a few months, we will walk into a place that we will call our second home. We will be faced with long days and tough nights, but I know that we will make it through. I have had the pleasure of being at OPA alongside this wonderful class for 4 amazing years. And although we don't know much about what the future holds, there is one thing I am certain of. This class is destined for great things. I am so proud to stand alongside my peers today, for I know that we are one amazing class. Congratulations, class of 2024, we did it.
Good afternoon, Principal Alvarado, teachers, staff, family members, and most importantly, my fellow 8th grade graduating class of 2020. My name is Kavya Madhavan, and I'm honored to share my middle school experience with you. For all of us here, today might feel like the end of our stories, a conclusion to 9 years of elementary and middle school. However, I see this moment as the end of a chapter. Like a story, there are many upcoming chapters in our life that we should still look forward to. Since my journey here at OPA started in middle school, I would like us to look back at our past 3 years. Like many of my classmates, I started middle school here at OPA with the excitement and the curiosity to learn the meaning of responsibility, open-mindedness, forgiveness, creativity, and more. If we think about it, even though we started off a career in elementary school, we had it easy there, with just listening to stories, playing games, drawing, and enjoying the ignorance of early childhood. And then 6th grade hit, with having tests to study for, essays to write, math formulas to memorize, and numerous mind maps to complete. Basically, everything got 100 times more complicated. Yet, with the undeniable support from our beloved family, friends, teachers, and staff, we were able to adapt and accomplish these challenges. Through 7th grade, we eventually got through individual projects, longer essays to write, more math formulas to memorize, and the dreadful CASP test. However, at this point, we got to know each other more, made stable friendships, and eventually, we even got the chance to rely on one another. By the end of 7th grade, we all felt like champions, with our lives being all smooth sailing and completely figured out. However, as Robert Frost once stated, nothing gold can stay. Eventually, we moved on to 8th grade and we felt as if we're back to square one, with new rules to follow in writing an essay, more responsibilities to take on while trying our best to get A's for honors, and more projects to complete and present in front of the class. At that moment, we could relate to what Will Smith once saying, "My life got turned upside down." Luckily, through our perseverance and determination, we were able to get through it and even learn to become more independent. My fellow classmates, I would like to point out that we were able to get through so many things, including global warming, daylight savings, Pluto becoming a dwarf planet, and one of the worst in my opinion, facial acne. Jokes aside, we should give a round of applause for how adaptable we have been for the current situation the coronavirus has caused. We should also give a round of applause for how adaptable and supportive our teachers and family have been for us during this time. Going on that note, I would love to significantly thank our teachers who took the time to guide us on the right path to be ready for future challenges. Even though we were confused several times, our teachers never gave up and always inspired us to try again. Thank you, staff members of OPA, who always went the extra mile to ensure the safety and education of each child. I would love to thank my fellow classmates who were always there to shine a light on my gloomy day and to show an everlasting smile to uplift my spirits. Last but not least, on behalf of 8th grade, I would love to thank the families that stood by our side to listen to our constant complaining and to encourage us to become who we are today. And to be truthful, without the support from our family, friends, teachers, and staff, we wouldn't have come this far. So thank you, unsung heroes. Now, my fellow classmates, our time here as an 8th grade class will not be remembered by grades, popularity, likes, or favorites. Instead, we will be remembered by relationships, the kind of person we are. These are legacies, the kind that we must believe. Class of 2020, I had a splendid 3 years with you, and from the bottom of my heart, I wish you the very, very, very best. Thank you.
What a crazy year we've had together. Thank you so much, Class of 2020, for allowing Miss Roney and I to be a part of your 8th grade experience. This school year has been one that none of us will ever forget. It may have started out ordinary, but it has ended in the most extraordinary of ways. I have been so amazed by how all of you have adapted to virtual classes. You have all become so much more independent and gained life skills that will help you in the future. I know you may not realize it yet, but you have grown so much since August. You are such an incredible group of students, and you amaze me every day. I will genuinely miss our math and science lessons, even if you won't. This year has been full of highs and lows. We experienced highs during our egg drop, class parties, and hiding tiny soldiers around the room. And yes, the tiny soldier will stay next to the flag next year in memory of this promoting class. We experienced lows together too, like mourning the loss of a school year too soon, and trying to adjust to a new normal together. While I wish I would have known our last day together would be the last day we would all be together, we made the best of it. I recently went back into our classroom to clean up and grab supplies, and it will never be the same without all of you. When I walked in, I could picture where each of you would be sitting and what jokes you might be cracking. I could hear all of your voices asking for extra credit and when the last day of school is. This promoting class is so special to OPA, and you've forever made a lasting impression. You are the first promoting class that started in kindergarten, and you are hopefully the only class to have a drive-through promotion. As you go forward into the world, keep this in mind. If the plan doesn't work, change the plan, but never change the goal. When we changed to virtual learning this year, we did not change the goal to educate all of you and maintain our relationship. We just changed the plan. Life will continue to throw challenges at you, although hopefully you don't encounter another global pandemic, and it will be your responsibility to adapt. I have seen your ability to adapt firsthand this school year, and I know that you will persevere through whatever challenges you encounter in life. Whether you realize it or not, you are a part of what makes our classroom community the way it is. Room 8 is a home to me, and all of you are the family that make it feel like home. I will miss your stories, your jokes, your laughter, your questions, your kindness, your willingness to try new things, and most importantly, you. All of you are going to do great things, not just in high school, but in life. Make sure you come back and tell Miss Roney and Miss Dunneback all about it.
Class of 2020. So many firsts throughout this school year, from your first day of 8th grade to your first time learning how to navigate StudySync, EdGems, and Amplify, to your first time in the 8th grade area, to your first time experiencing distance learning in the midst of a pandemic. And now, here we are, ending all your firsts as you say goodbye to 8th grade and await your next set of firsts as you enter into high school. The first week of school during social studies class, I asked you what it means to be a citizen. This was one of our first lessons of American history. Some of your responses were freedom, being loyal to your country, and living in the U.S. All of these are correct, but just as you have changed throughout the 8th grade, your perspective on things can also change. I had planned to ask you this same question at the end of the school year after you learned American history from the Magna Carta all the way through to the Civil War. So I ask you to think for a minute. Now looking back, what does it mean to be a citizen? I can tell you that citizenship is the status of belonging to a nation. Today, you are leaving our OPA nation, but you will always have a sense of belonging here with your classmates, staff, and teachers. We are all rooting for you. Your promoting class will be remembered for being resilient role models. You will also be recognized as the first promoting class at OPA to have 23 students who have been here since kindergarten. What a special honor. The moment you entered our classroom doors with open minds and curiosity, you were setting the stage for success. Champions are resilient because they are able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. You are champions who resonate adaptability to change. From our surprise homeroom changes to the biggest surprise of all when we unknowingly said goodbye to our traditional style of learning on March 13th. You jumped into distance learning like professionals. We have only seen you through Zoom for the past 3 months, but the foundation we built the first 2 trimesters allowed us to get through this together.
This by no means has been easy, but the most challenging times are when the best opportunities for learning happen. Remember the first time you were faced with the challenge of writing an 8th grade essay, cramming for 2 tests in one night, and juggling 7 subjects in one day. At the start of all these challenges, I'm sure it felt impossible, but with perseverance, persistence, and motivation, you made it through, still in one piece. Now you face a new challenge as you enter into high school. Remember all you have accomplished, all the lessons you have learned, and all the friendships you have made. Your friends will carry you through. The lessons you learned will serve as a reminder that you are capable of anything, and your accomplishments will motivate you to pursue your dreams. Mrs. Denneback and I are so proud of what you have achieved. We hope you continue to ask questions, challenge yourself, be patient with yourself, celebrate the diversity of those around you, and lead your life with confidence. And now, without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce and congratulate our 8th grade promoting class of 2020.
Congratulations, class of 2020. We're all so proud of you. We know you've endured a lot these past couple months, and we want you to know how happy we are for all of you as you look forward to high school and beyond. We want to thank you and your families for hanging in there with us and to wish you all the best in the future. So stay true to yourself and always be kind. Congratulations.
Dear graduates, I want you to know that the Board of Directors of Oxford Preparatory Academy could not be any more proud of the class of 2020. We share in your excitement and celebrate your achievement. You have earned this moment. In just a couple of months, you will return to start your high school education, and I urge you to take full advantage of everything your school has to offer, and at the risk of sounding trite, to do your best. We need you to do your best because the challenges and opportunities that await you cannot successfully be met by anything less. Today is just the beginning. I am confident that your greatest achievements are yet to come. I look forward to the role that each of you will play in your own unique way in shaping your community and our world at large for the better. Congratulations.
Thank you.